Hi there and welcome back to our healthy recipe video series. We've designed this video series to help inspire you to cook healthy, delicious meals that will satisfy your whole family. Today we'll be making pork chops in a balsamic-peach glaze with roasted sweet potatoes and broccoli on the side. This is a very flavorful and heart-healthy recipe, low in sodium, fat, and cholesterol. A serving is only 346 calories. Now this mixing bowl has a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar in it. And to that bowl, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. This is our marinade mixture. We're going to reserve half of this for our vegetables, and we're going to pour half of it into this bowl with our pork chops in it. And I'm just going to eyeball it. It looks like about half. And then we're going to mix these to coat. My pork chops are a little frozen, but it's okay. They'll thaw out as they soak in the marinade. After we've gotten all the pork chops coated in the marinade mixture, I'm just going to cover these and put them in the refrigerator for 15 to 30 minutes while we prep everything else. So now we're going to go ahead and add our spices and the rest of our marinade mixture into our vegetables. And in the original recipe, this called for us to mix both the sweet potatoes and the broccoli together and then toss them in the mixture and cook them at the same time. But over time, what I've found is that sweet potatoes tend to take longer to cook than your other types of vegetable. And so I don't want to burn my broccoli. So I've kept them separated. I'm gonna season them separately. And I'm going to start the sweet potatoes a little bit before I go ahead and add the broccoli. Probably about, I would say, 15 minutes before I add the broccoli. So I've just eyeballed half in one bowl and half in the other. And then our spice mixture is just a teaspoon of pepper that I've divided in half. So this is half a teaspoon of pepper, and this is a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Now we've got our baking tray. We're going to go ahead and coat this with some cooking spray, and I like to use this Misto reusable spray, and then you can just fill it with whatever kind of oil you want as many times as you want, and you don't have to throw the can away every single time. And we're going to spread our potatoes out in a single layer, getting as much of that marinade out of the bowl as we can. And these will go into the oven for about 15 minutes by themselves. Then I'll add the broccoli, and the whole mixture will cook collectively for about 35 to 40 minutes. All right, it's time to cook our pork chops. I'm gonna take the remaining pepper that we divided when we did the seasoning for the meat and vegetables. I'm just gonna coat these with the remaining pepper. And then as soon as this gets warm, we will go ahead and put a little cooking spray in the bottom there. And once the oil begins to shimmer, we'll add the pork chops to the pan. All right, so you can see that our oil has turned clear. If you hover your hand over the pan, it's quite warm, so we're ready to go ahead and put the pork chops in. And just lay these into the pan in a single layer. We'll do 4, and then I'll do these other 2 separately. All right, we've got our beautiful pork chops cooked over here. I've wiped out the pan, and we're gonna go ahead and cook the sauce in the same pan to save you on dishes. So in this bowl, we've got a cup of peaches that I've chopped up. The recipe calls for frozen peaches, but the store was out of frozen peaches, so we went ahead and used canned, and I just rinsed the syrup off of them and then chopped them up. And this is peach preserves. It's a sugar-free peach preserves. This is a half cup. And then we have got half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, and 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. And we are just gonna stir this and let it simmer and cook down. All right, our vegetables are done. Our broccoli has gotten some color on it, but it's not burned. And our sweet potatoes are soft enough to eat. So we're gonna go ahead and serve those up. About a cup is what's recommended on the American Heart website for this recipe. That's about a cup. It's a little more than a cup, but that's okay. And the pork chop. And then we'll take a little bit of our sauce and put it right there on top of that pork chop. And this is sweet and savory and herbaceous with the thyme in there, and most importantly, heart healthy.